Hello everybody. This is a troubleshooting video. Troubleshooting for bread baking. Baking with our MIMEN bread range. So confidence will come with practice. Okay? So to begin with, use the exact measurements that are on the packaging. Okay. Make sure that the temperature in your kitchen or wherever you are baking or working, kneading the dough, it's not too hot. If it's really hot, and I mean maybe over 25-30 degrees, your dough can start drying out as you are kneading it. It often happens in the summer, even though that our MIMEN breads contain a massive amount of water due to the ingredients. Okay, so these are not starch based bread mixes. So that's the reason why you can actually knead them and mold them quite easily. When you start kneading, that's point number 3, it's going to be sticky to begin with. So you can start to mix your mixture, your dough, with a spatula or a wooden spoon. Once you incorporated most of the ingredients, then you can swap to your hands. Work on a clean work surface. I really love kneading on a work surface instead of a bowl. It's just not very practical. And so you just put out your dough onto this nice clear surface and you begin to knead. You cannot knead our MIMEN bread mixes, our doughs, like an ordinary bread dough, because it will not stretch. It does not contain gluten that makes the normal bread dough stretchy. So you have to just knead. So just go with the rolling motion, okay? Just rolling it, stretching it out a bit. And you can see all this in the video tutorial. Then you just fold it back, you know, onto itself, creating like a large whirl, and again rolling it out. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes. Not too long if your kitchen is really hot and warm, because the dough starts drying out. It will not affect the end result. Now, if you are using yeast, just simply follow the instructions on the labeling. If you are working with a sourdough, then please take a look at the MIMEN Bread sourdough bread video tutorial. The most significant difference between baking with yeast or baking with sourdough is the time, the proving time. With yeast, 1 hour is enough for buns, 1.5 hours for a loaf if you bake with yeast. If you bake with sourdough, you will need about 8 to 10 hours. Okay, if it's really warm, 7-8 hours. But you can see as it's rising, it's changing shape, it doubles in size. The only thing can happen that you overproofing it with the yeast and you end up with a floppier bread. But you still be able to eat it. And the next time you know better. But just follow the instructions that are really clear on the packaging. Now, how do you prove it? In what environment do you allow your bread to rise? You need to cover it with cling film, but not too tight, so you need to allow room for your bread to rise, okay? So once you're done, okay, and the proving time is over, with yeast again, 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours, with sourdough, 8 to 10 hours, then you need to heat your oven first to about 210 degrees. If it's a loaf, 210 degrees, okay? Fan assisted oven. Now, just before you're ready to bake and you see that the oven has reached the required temperature, you can oil the surface of your bread. It's going to give it a nice brown shine and create a bit of a crunch. The best oil is extra virgin olive oil or cold pressed rapeseed oil. Not too much, okay, so don't overdo the oil, just slightly brush it. And you can create some cuts, so just to give it a nice look. You don't have to, you can if you want. It will not affect the end result and how your bread will taste. It looks a bit nicer. Now, if you create a cut, you will have to use a very sharp knife. But with our MIMEN breads, the look you create, the shape you create after you knead it and allowed it to rise and proof, it's gonna stay that way. Okay, so try to give it a nice smooth surface. Okay, when you leaving it to prove and rise. If you've used a proving dish like I do with my sourdough bread, you need to turn it out onto a baking sheet really carefully and slowly. Okay, so take it out of the proving dish, and then you bake. Bake on 200 degrees, very, very important. Okay, you need to put the bread in when the oven is really hot. Now, buns 20-25 minutes, bread 40-45 minutes. If you would like your bread to be a bit less moist, then you can allow it 45-50 minutes. It's going to brown on the outside, it will not burn, so don't worry about that. Halfway around, you can quickly turn your bread around if you have a fan-assisted oven and it tends to burn on the inside like mine. I turn them halfway around very quickly, so not much of a heat will escape. And when the bread is done, the time is up, you can knock on your bread and it should sound a bit hollow, and that is done. You can't really go wrong with it, and practice will make perfect. And I hope that this tutorial helped you. So when you're proving the MIMEN bread, especially with a sourdough, please use you have to use a baguette tray or a bread tin or a proving basket, but it needs a container. Okay, because of the sourdough, it kind of spreads into every direction, so you need to contain it and kind of give it a shape and a form, so to end up with a nice looking bread. This bread will last, if it's sourdough, to about even 10-14 days. A whole loaf will last 2 people over 10 days, 7 to 10 days. You will find that maybe a slice of it will satisfy you, full of fibers, full of protein. You can find more tips, more recipes and videos. Again, YouTube channel Martha Lives, Facebook page NatureBaked UK, or the website www.naturebaked.uk.com.